Going on, guys? I think I'm live now. If someone can just chuck me a quick text, chuck me something in the chat box. It's open now. Thank you for taking the time out. We're going to probably start in around a minute. Let the latecomers come in if you've not already done so. Let's text the team. Whatever you do to get in contact, let's try and get as many people in front of this information as we can. Tonight's call is going to be hosted by myself, and the goal tonight is to go over some basics again and kind of some success tips that I feel that the group kind of needs now. The group's growing and growing. It's growing by the day, and it's great to see. And my main focus is getting people started effectively, and that's the key. And I'm going to really look at that tonight. Obviously, we've got us 4 steps, and we've got us 4 questions. But the key for me is not necessarily launching someone's business, but definitely getting people started effectively. Okay, we don't need to be chucking Think and Grow Rich down the throat straight away. Personal development's key, don't get me wrong, but our key, specifically the first 7 days, 2 weeks, maybe a month, is to get them making money, get them making profit, and focus on that. Do you know what I mean? You won't see anyone more confident or fired up, someone who's making money, someone who's bringing in new team members, making new customers, and stuff like that. So that's my first goal. Before we go into the core of the training, I definitely want to push the event. So what I'm going to quickly do, I'm going to screen share so you guys can see what's going on my desktop, because I've just purchased, as you can see here, the OG standard ticket. Okay, this is the ticket to the European Convention, and what I'm going to quickly show before we go into the main body is the convention video. So obviously this is the second time this has been in Europe. It's super new, and the key for me is the reason why I get behind the major event is because events build belief. You're going to be around people who have made it happen in this business, specifically Organo Gold. You're going to be around the top earners, the people who are making it happen. So just give this a quick watch.
Last year, it was historic. This year, we are going to break records. Join us on April 18th and 19th in beautiful Lyon, France for the 2015 OG EU Convention. Starting with a diamond excursion on Friday and a VIP reception that night. Saturday, we go live with an all-day general session and gala dinner that evening. And then we are back on Sunday for another day packed with training, information, and motivation. Taking place at the beautiful Eurexpo, this event will go down in OG history. Tickets are on sale now. Standard tickets are only €129, but if you want the best seating in the hall and access to the exclusive official reception, then the premium ticket is for you, and it's only €259. Get your tickets today, as they will sell out fast. The 2015 OG EU Convention. It will be fantastique.
Obviously, what me and Ben always push is mine and Ben's story. Obviously, we've been in business now for 2-3 years, but the key, what switched it for us, was the major event. Cheesy as it sounds, you're going to go around there, and it's going to spark belief. You're going to see the people who are making the big incomes, and for me, you just got to get there. I would not promote anything that I didn't think would benefit the team and your business. And take a little look at the website here, euconvention.organogold.com, and look to get these booked. I've not booked my flights all way out there yet, but what I have booked is I've booked my ticket. My ticket's purchased. I bought the standard ticket, admission to the event on the Saturday and the Sunday. So let's make a commitment to that. That's going to be a big push. And what you want to do is, specifically if you're a leader, listen to this tonight, is have a number. Don't just go there by yourself. You hear it again. If you go to an event by yourself, you're going to learn a lot. If you go with a group of people, you're going to earn a lot. So you want to really push this and have a main focus for this. It's coming up now. It's towards the back end of April. We want to make a big push to really get behind that event. That's massive. So that's that one done. Back to me on the thing. And tonight's goal is basically to work through getting people started effectively, getting people over that line. And like I've said, we've got the 4 steps, 4 questions. That's all nice and easy. But one thing that you want to look at is finding someone's why. You hear this all the time, finding someone's reason why they're doing the business. And everyone will give you the same answer to start with. And my goal tonight is, if you haven't got your why down solid and you know why you're doing the business, then I want to take that a little bit deeper and really get that solid, committed, and know why you're doing it. Because if you don't, this is a business, and if you don't know why you're doing it, you'll never make it happen. Okay, you'll just treat it as a hobby and it'll pay you that way. But for me, you've got to have a plan, and you need a dream. The dream will drive you to great heights. I kind of got stuck on my income because I didn't have a strong enough why. I kind of was just about the money to start with, which there's nothing wrong with that, about the money. But once I started thinking of what I actually want, that started giving me focus, started giving me energy. And for me, you will then start taking that dream and putting goals in place. And for me, you've got to write down those dreams. Do you know what I mean? What do you want? And I never really took the time out to write that down. And it might be a car. Everyone's got different dreams. It might be money value. It might be time freedom. It might be not needing a boss. It might be time with your kids. Take the time out to really think that down. And one exercise that my mentor told me to do is write down an ideal day. And you'll be surprised just how far I was away from where I wanted to be in terms of my ideal day. But don't just have the ideas in your head, have them down on paper, and trust me on that one, take the time out to do that. And once you've got your dreams down on paper, you want to divide those dreams into smaller, achievable goals, and then create a plan for that. And that's big for me. And the plan for us, we've got it down, okay? For me, Organo Gold is the bridge to create money, and money is freedom. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. That money will create the freedom that you need. The fourth point to that, quickly before we go through that, is identify what you'll need to become to get that. So for me, it was working on my personal development every single day. And for me, it's the key. It's creating an intense picture of what you want. And everyone's different for that. And you hear it again and again and again. I was the biggest skeptic on this type of stuff ever. But every single book that I read, every single mentor that I speak to, their main goal to start with is having a rock solid why. Because like anything, there's going to be ups and downs in any type of business, specifically this one. So you've got to have that why there, that's strong, that no matter what happens to you in your business, it's going to be rock solid. And for me, what I'm going to share quickly now is I don't recommend much in terms of personal development, because I think Organo Gold have the best leaders in place, and the Millionaire Mentorship Call's key. But what I'm going to show you now is a snippet of a book that I would write this down. It's called Conceive, Believe, and Achieve, and it's by David Imonitie, who's a top earner in our company. And what he's mastered is this vision environment, which I'm going to play a small snippet now of his stuff, so bear with me on this one. Take notes on this, and I would make an investment in purchasing this. I think it's around £6-7 on iTunes, but I will make this available in the group after, so bear with me 2 seconds.
A clear picture of what the end result already looked like. So it didn't matter all the things that I had to go through. I remember, driving from here from Houston to Baton Rouge, a 5-hour ride, and not even having a hotel room, having to sleep in my car after doing a meeting, after talking to a couple hundred people about that opportunity, them dropping me back off at the hotel and them saying bye to me at the lobby. And, as soon as they drove off, I would go back in my car and sleep in my car multiple times. But it was only because I had a clear picture of what the end result was going to look like. I was already here. In my mind, I already saw myself as a multimillionaire. I already saw myself with all the things that are happening today. I saw it back then. When you look at that word SAW, I saw it. Basically, you take that backwards, WAS. I was already there. I was already living that type of lifestyle in my mind. It was just waiting for the physical equivalent to actually take place.
That's very interesting. So how would you share with other people the way that they can actually see the future before it happens? Was there a book that you read? Was there a process you went through? Or did you just say, you know what, I'm going to be successful, and here's what successful, meant to you? Or tell us a little bit about that.
Well, obviously, you got to be in the right environment. I was in the right environment. Even though I failed in those companies, I was around other people that were successful. People like Emmanuel Bernstein, who was one of my very first mentors. I got a chance to meet him. I was 21 years old, and at that time, he was earning a multiple 5-figure a month income. So I had a clear picture once again, of really what it could look like, at the end result of it. And when you have the right environment, you have the right people around you, making sure that you're listening to the right information. I mean, your information, I grew up on your information, listening to people like Tony Robbins, listen to people like, like yourself and so many other leaders, Les Brown, listening to that information. One of the books very first book that I ever read was Think and Grow Rich, by Napoleon Hill, reading that book and understanding that thoughts are things. And I said, okay, well, if I want to change the things in my life, I must change the thoughts in my life. And I really started to study that, started to really listen a whole lot more, read a whole lot more. And I think all the information that I actually listened to is what allowed me to actually be here today.
And that's a common trend that I have heard from every leader that I've ever talked to in this industry is that, number one, they do see it in the very beginning before they even start. I like that, Saul, I was it, I like that. That's really powerful. And the interesting thing is that you actually did something that Jim Rohn teaches. And he says that whenever things are not going well or you're not where you want to be, you can borrow from the vision of the future or borrow from the promise of the future, which will allow you to engage in the activities today.
Absolutely.
So when things weren't going well for you, but you saw this future that you saw, did that empower you? Is that something you actually used?
Absolutely. It's a formula that I actually came up with here. We talk about desire plus skills times faith equals success. You've got.
So that's just a snippet of that audio. I'm not going to play it all tonight, but trust me, get your ears into that stuff because, like I've said, the reason for this call tonight is getting people started. So you want to know why they're doing it, okay? Why they're doing it. Get that taken care of straight away. You're then going to work through the 4 steps that we talk about all the time. I'm not going to go into that training tonight, okay? But what you want to do then is the invitation. You hear me again and again that the invitation for me is the gateway skill to all the money. Because if you can't, number one, teach the invite and then go out and apply it, you're not going to get people taking a look at the information. And the advice that I always give is there's typically 2 reasons why people do not succeed in this business. It's number 1, they don't talk to enough people, or number 2, they don't talk to enough of the right people. And you've got to be able to effectively invite people to this opportunity. You've got to, obviously, you hear it again and again, it's the gateway skill. And the goal is, if you get more people to show up to the information, trust me, you're going to get people who sign up and get started. And for me, setting appointments to see presentations or conference calls are key, because there's 2 things that build us business. Number 1, it's retail. It's moving product to the marketplace. And number 2, it's enrolling distributors like yourself who want to do the same. So trust me, master the invite process. And before we invite, we need to first and foremost know who we're going to invite. So I look at, you hear it when we're creating lists, is the 4 checkers. Do you know what I mean? People who are coachable and teachable, people who've got a sphere of influence, self-starters, and they've got a means to get started. We want to start thinking and working with people who are going to upgrade to that gold pack on day 7, and their circle of influence, their friends, are also going to do the same, because this is a millionaire mentorship call, or we're going to have a 6-figure mentorship call on a Sunday like this. So we're looking for people like that, people who have got that pull. That's going to move us along that little bit quicker. Okay, that's what we want. We want fast growth. We want people building the business. So for me, you want people who go in gold on day 7. It's not going to be a massive issue for them. Another thing that I scan, but before I say this, is when I first started, I definitely wasn't a 4 checker. And what I'm going to explain now in the 5 pointers, I definitely don't want any of these neither. So for me, this is just a guideline. If you look through the Gold magazine from Organo Gold, you're going to see on there a lot of these 5 pointers. And this one, it's really clicked with me. And you want a lot of these in your group. It's number 1, they're married. Number 2, they own their own home. They've got kids. They're typically over 25, and they already earn between 25,000 and 70,000 in the household. So these are the types of people you want to be working with. We've got a little bit of a different group in terms of we've got a young demographic, and I'm passionate about letting everyone know about the advantage of network marketing and just how easy Organo Gold is. But they're the people who are making the moves in network marketing typically. So you want a lot of those types of people in your group, the 4 checkers, which we know and we teach all the time, but the 5 pointers, again, married, home, kids, over 25, and between 25,000 and 70,000 pounds per year already. Staff, who do you know who meet those pointers, meet those checkers? Okay, and when we're making the invite, because the reason why I'm making a big push for the invite is physical events, home events, which we call CGMs, are crucial. And also what we've decided to do now is online conference calls and webinars like this. We're going to have a big push on making more and more of these. So if this platform's available for you, you need to make sure that you're getting people on the calls to make it worth not only your while, but our while as well. So words to avoid, write these down. Words to avoid when inviting is opportunity. I just joined, the cost, silver pack, gold pack, bronze pack, meeting, seminar, upline, downline. The purpose of the invitation is just that. It's not to give a presentation. Say less to more people. Write that down. Say less to more people, and you'll see your business grow and grow and grow and grow. So I'm going to give you my formula that I use for the invitation, and the invitation that I use, and there's going to be debate about this, is always on the phone. You text blasts, email blasts. Listen, there might be a purpose for them. All I know is that I have much more success with the phone. The reason for that is people can hear your excitement on the phone. They're going to buy into, number one, are you excited about what you're doing? You don't need to know anything. They're going to know if you're excited. So I'm going to give you the first formula, which is for home events. Okay, inviting to a CGM. Number one is have a little bit of small talk. So when you're working through your list, you're going to try and build that little bit of rapport. And one tip before we go into it is, before you make the invitations, number one, you need to know what you're inviting to. But what I recommend to do is make the invitation 48 to 72 hours before the event. If you're booking it a week in advance, it's too long, people will forget. Life get in the way. So advice is 48 to 72 hours before the event. I find that's the most successful period of time that people will commit and block out that time for you. So the formula is with small talks, and then it's clearing the schedule. So when you're making a call, let's say I'm calling up Tim, what's the schedule like Tuesday, 7 o'clock? So he's going to tell me there and then, listen, is his schedule free or not? And then I'm going to ask him to block out time and give him a short explanation of what we're doing. I'm not explaining anything. And what I typically do there is put it onto someone else. Okay, so let's just say, for example, Ben is doing Ben's my business partner who's going to present the information. I'm going to speak very highly of Ben to get them to come and take a look. And that's the key. And what I typically say is, listen, I'm launching a major project with some successful friends of mine. If nothing else, I want you to hear what I'm doing. Okay, but more importantly, why I'm doing it. That works every time for me. And I always say I would love your honest feedback about the concept. Can I count on you to jump on? Do you know what I mean? If it's a conference call, or come down if it's a CGM. So massage that, but the formula's there every single time. It's show excitement, small talk, clear the schedule, block out their time, and then give a short explanation, typically using someone else's story if you've not got one yourself yet. So you'll hear me again and again say, learn people's stories, because facts tell, stories sell. So you want to start knowing, number one, what's your story and what's your upline business partner's story? How have they been successful? What have they done? Because that's what's going to happen moving forward. They're going to buy into stories. They're going to be piqued by stories. They don't necessarily know the ins and outs of the comp plan. That's not going to be the deal breaker for most people. It's going to be getting people in front of the information by showing excitement and telling stories. So that's the key. Another recommendation from this invitation, because listen, I'm working on my invitation all the time. That's one thing that is a skill set that I'm constantly working on. If you've not already done so, make sure you're listening to Cash Cow. Every time I'm in Ben's car, he's got the Cash Cow CD on again and again, listen to the same thing. So for me, that's massive. And it's so important to make sure that you're really learning the invitation and getting people effectively started to what we're doing, because everything falls on that. It's great if we've got all the CGMs booked, or we've got the conference calls booked, which I said you're going to see more and more of, but we want to get this group, this elite network moving quicker, maximize that. And the only way to really practice the invite is to make the calls. That's why it's so important. Once we've started building that list, we've got a list of 50 and 50. It's great. You can't just have a list of 5 and 5 and expect to build the business. So master that invite. Tonight's call is not going to be a long one in duration. I just want to get the point across that for me. If we just work on these simple actions, finding people's whys, mastering the invite, learning how to effectively launch people's business, okay? First 7 days is paramount for anyone's business. And we want to stop just enrolling people. We see it again and again. It's great to be a recruiting monster, but we've got to get people started. I said it in a post this week, stop being a recruiter and start being a sponsor and start launching people's businesses, okay? We're not in the recruitment game in this. We're finding business partners and success team who want to work this business. So like I said, getting people started, number one, find why they're doing it. Work through the 4 steps. Gold Pack day 7 and help 3 of their friends go Gold Pack as well. Okay, and chill out. I said chill out. Pushing personal development down people's throats straight away. Focus on profit. First 7 days, let's get them number one. Get their investment back for whatever they've spent and get them making money. Cash exchange, people getting enrolled, people on conference calls, having their first CGM booked. Because that's the key with this. The key with this is the simplicity. That's the one reason I got involved with this. And it's then just massaging little things. And me and Ben have said, leverage is key with this. Communication and leverage is so important. Let other people help you out. Get people on the conference calls. Don't make yourself the issue. Today's a prime example. We spoke to a team in Australia who have got started. And we used Uber and we used the same 4 steps. The same system, teaching the invite. You just get good at doing the same routine again and again and again, and that's the key. I just want to. You're going to see a lot more communication from our end in terms of what's going on in the group. There's going to be conference calls a lot more, because I think to get people confident and comfortable, you need to have this platform, and I'm happy enough to really man this platform. We're in Scotland tomorrow. Alex Cannon will be hosting a launch call tomorrow. So like I said, my goal and my message for tonight is we want to get people started and stop enrolling people and start launching people's business. It's networking. We want to network this product very quickly. And my goal to finish tonight is, number one, just get obsessed for 90 days. You're seeing the company now really getting behind this 90-day campaign, 90 days of constant activity. Have you got, I'm just going to grab mine quickly, have you got your 30-day playbook? The 30-day playbook is so important to work through. So if you've not got one of these yet, this is mine here filled out, then get these worked out, get in contact with your coach, your mentor, whoever's helping you out in this business, and start working through that playbook. Okay, that will make the month easier. It sets your goals, income goals, etc., and things like that. But the company's really getting behind simple actions taken over this next 90 days. And for us as a group, that's going to really lead us towards Leon. Okay, and as a company now, the company's recognizing the cruise promotion. We've seen a few names in the mixer: the Websters, Banker Kane, Keel, and Hannah Carlisle, Dave Scott. We've seen so many new faces on there who are making it happen. And what I love about the cruise promotion is it's recognizing correct activities, which is promotional packs, Star Achiever, helping people move up the rank structure, and that's big. And you want to make sure that you're aligned and you understand that promotion, and that's a very big promotion for me. So make sure you're behind that. Make sure you understand what it is about, because that's key. And if you don't know what it is, ask the question. If you don't know what it is, ask what it is. So number one, get obsessed for the next 90 days. Let's start moving forward. Number two, Stop making excuses. This is like any business, and you've got to keep positive all the time. Positive reinforcement all the time. Listen to positive audio all the time. Keep plugged into these types of events all the time. And from that, you've got to make sure that your environment, okay, what you're listening to, what you're watching, what you're reading, what you're doing is congruent with where you want to get. Is typically, what time is it now? It's 8:25. People are taking the time out to listen to this call and wanting to get somewhere. So make sure you're plugged in to the go-getters, plugged into the people who are making it happen, getting after it, because that will, winners always attract winners. So make sure you're around the people who are winning this business and the people who are getting success. So like I said, make sure your environment's congruent with success. Number 4 is that belief. And that's one thing that it's difficult sometimes to get your head around, that you can make more in a month in this than most people make in a year. And that's sometimes difficult to get your head around, and you can't necessarily get excited about that when you just have no understanding of that's even possible. And that's the reason why I push the events. That's the reason why this platform is going to have 6 and 7 figure yearly earners taking part in this, because I want you to start believing bigger. We say it all the time, and I hear it in every meeting, every conversation, that it's the right time at the right place with the right people. You've just got to have that belief that other marketplaces have made this happen. Why not ours? Do you know what I mean? Why can't the UK market create diamonds? Why can't the UK market create success stories and the how-to stuff? Once you've got that belief and that why down, the how-to stuff's easy. You will learn how to sample. You will learn how to make an effective invitation. You will learn how to present, because once your why's that strong, it's just going to happen. Do you know what I mean? And the belief has got to come from you to start with. You don't want to have to be up and down, up and down. And you see this a lot in this business, okay? Someone's 1 minute up here, 1 minute down there. You've got to keep that constant belief every day. And for me, that's something you've got to work on. Do you know what I mean? You're not always going to be in that state of mind, but you've got to be able to switch it straight away. And every day working on that business, working on that wealth model, that bridge that we're working towards. And the 5th point is action. You've got to constantly be in activity mode. And all we're saying is make some core commitments for 18 months. Okay, work the business, work this model, what we're doing for 18 months and see where it takes you. Do you know what I mean? That's the key for me. Persistence, activity mode, keep inspired, keep around the people who are making it happen. And that is the key for me. And that, if you've not done so, sit down with your coach and figure these things out. Figure these things out of what's going on. And that's pretty much all I've got for tonight. It's my main goal tonight was to grasp this getting started, okay? And if you need help in that, reach out to someone who knows how to do it. Create that plan, okay? Get those dreams down, get that strong why, and let's get to work, because we've got something special with this group. The group's growing by the day. My business is typically getting 2 to 3 new starters every single day now, so it's moving. It's moving there, and our goal is to create more success stories, and as more success stories are created, people want to know what we're doing. We all understand that we've got the easiest product in this business, and the most powerful product to match. So keep the focus there, keep the energy there. Let's make a big push for tomorrow's launch call. It's going to be 8 p.m. The link's going to be on tonight. And for me, it's just make sure we have a big week, okay? Make a plan, build the plan, go out and apply it, and let's make it happen. So guys, really appreciate the time. It's been a very quick call. Hope you took some value away from tonight. But guys, have a big week, and I'll see you all real soon.